Alrighty, you like the act of making these videos and some other things creation. 5th level illusion, casting time of 1 minute, range of 30 feet, components verbal somatic material, a tiny piece of matter of the same type of the item you plan to create. Duration, special. Okay, another special duration. You pull wisps of shadow material from the shadow fell to create a non-living object of vegetable matter within range. Soft goods, rope, wood, or something similar, you can also use this spell to create mineral objects such as stone, crystal, or metal. The object created must be no larger than a 5-foot cube, and the object must be of a form and material that you have seen before. The duration depends on the object's material. If the object is composed of multiple materials, use the shortest duration. Vegetable matter lasts for 1 day, stone or crystal lasts for 12 hours, precious metals only 1 hour, gems 10 minutes, adamantine or mithril 1 minute. I didn't think you'd be able to get those. Using any material created by the spell as another spell's material component causes that spell to fail. At higher levels, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of 6th level or higher, the cube increases by 5 feet for each slot level above 5th. So it's a fabricate that doesn't actually use materials, instead just makes it out of the shadow stuff of the Shadowfell, using illusion. The fact it has different durations for what the material is interesting. Because it will last. Of what exact use you could get out of this with a 5-foot cube is pretty decent. Could theoretically make armor, which I think is where the precious metals or adamantine comes in. You could definitely use it to rip someone off, sell something off. For 5th level, not too bad. Casting time of 1 minute might hurt depending on what you're casting. If it's for a vegetable matter, stone or crystal, or even precious metals, even gems to a certain point, 1 minute's not that bad. A minute trade of sitting still and casting this, and then the adamantine or mithril object might be a bit dodgy. Oh, similar to the issue that we'd come up with fabricate and some of the conjure things is, and a lot of illusion, it's in how you best use it, the creativity surrounding it. These things can't be permanent, but it is real, even before getting the wizard illusionist feature, because you can still interact with it, it's just not going to last. Well, real to the point that an illusion can be, but you kind of get what I mean. Soft goods, rope, I mean, 5th level just for a random object, which outside of it, glowing, the Conjurationist wizard gets a similar feature, but they can just conjure it, and that's a 2nd level feature. 5-foot cube and all. You also had to have seen the material before, so some of the gems or metals, the super precious ones, might be a little more difficult. And outside of schemes for selling off some of these materials and then watching them go poof a bit later, you can make armor, you can make equipment, you can make the ropes like it said. I mean, it's just good to get if you need an object in a pinch based off of one of these. And you can't use it for material components, good on them for adding that in. I don't know, outside of an illusionist making like art pieces at a convention or some kind of festival that are going to be made of some of these fine objects and last for maybe the day or a certain section of it, I don't see much inherent use, but there is use in what you can make, but the spell itself only really gives you the means to bring that item to you. I mean, to rip people off, 100%. No, any town or magocracy with a high enough spell casting will definitely have to have some check of detect magic, identify, or just waiting it out. Like if it's adamantine, you might prolong the conversation for over a minute just to see if it's real or not. Because that's the other thing, upcasting doesn't increase this duration. That stays static. The only thing that changes is the size the object can take up, which can actually get quite big. Cube increasing by 5 feet with each slot. That's first a 5x5, 10x10, 15x15. And as a 5th level spell, you can upcast that an additional 4 times. 25x25. That's a big object. I mean, the utility of this is how creative you'd be in what you're summoning where and the situation dependent. Rating-wise, it's kind of a jack-of-all-trades toolbox, quite literally, with the physical tools. You're just making them. Rating. 8 out of 10. I know we were just talking about the very specific use case scenarios, but on the situations you can make this work for you, you can get plate armor in an instant. If you are... you just need a tiny piece of the material. If you're entirely absent on something, you can fabricate your item. It's fabricate without the material. And the increase in space on what you can do. You can make an adamantine wall. Sure, it'll only last a minute, but upcasting this, you can make an adamantine bunker, you can make just this pile of gold or statue. I mean, really, if you go for stone, you could just make a stone building. Hunker down in it. Only lasts you 12 hours. But that's the part about it. It's the specific use case that you can find.